We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, entitled Purusha Sukta Confirmed, Text 23. Yadasya nabayan nalinat aham asam mahatmanah naividam yagya sambharan purusha vayavanrite. Translation. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Brahma, the creator of the cosmic manifestation, is known as Swayambhu, or one who is born without father and mother. The general process is that a living creature is born out of the sex combination of the male father and the female mother. But Brahma, the firstborn living being, is born out of the abdominal lotus flower of the Mahavishnu, plenary expansion of Lord Krishna. The abdominal lotus flower is part of the Lord's bodily limbs, and Brahma is born out of the lotus flower. Therefore, Lord Brahma is also a part of the Lord's body. Brahma, after his appearance in the gigantic hollow of the universe, saw darkness and nothing else. He felt perplexity, and from his heart he was inspired by the Lord to undergo austerity, thereby acquiring the ingredients for sacrificial performances. But there was nothing besides the two of them, namely personality of Mahavishnu and Brahma himself, born of the bodily part of the Lord. For sacrificial performances, many ingredients were in need, especially animals. The animal sacrifice is never meant for killing the animal, but for achieving the successful result of the sacrifice. The animal offered in the sacrificial fire is, so to speak, destroyed, but the next moment is given a new life by dint of the Vedic hymns chanted by the expert priest. When such an expert priest is not available, the animal sacrifice in the fire of the sacrificial altar is forbidden. Thus Brahma created even the sacrificial ingredients out of the bodily limbs of the Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, which means that the cosmic order was created by Brahma himself. Also, nothing is created out of nothing, but everything is created from the person of the Lord. The Lord says in the Bhagavad-gita 10.8, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate. Everything is made from my bodily limbs, and I am therefore the original source of all creations. The impersonalists argue that there is no use in worshipping the Lord when everything is nothing but the Lord himself. The personalist, however, worships the Lord out of a great sense of gratitude, utilizing the ingredients born out of the bodily limbs of the Lord. The fruits and flowers are available from the body of the earth, and yet Mother Earth is worshipped by the sensible devotee with ingredients born from the earth. Similarly, Mother Ganges is worshipped by the water of the Ganges, and yet the worshipper enjoys the result of such worship. Worship of the Lord is also performed by the ingredients born from the bodily limbs of the Lord, and yet the worshipper, who is himself a part of the Lord, achieves the result of devotional service to the Lord. While the impersonalists wrongly concludes that he is the Lord himself, the personalist, out of great gratitude, worships the Lord in devotional service, knowing perfectly well that nothing is different from the Lord. The devotee therefore endeavors to apply everything in the service of the Lord, because he knows that everything is the property of the Lord, and that no one can claim anything as one's own. This perfect conception of oneself helps the worshipper in being engaged in his loving service, whereas the impersonalist, being falsely puffed up, remains a non-devotee forever, without being recognized by the Lord. The translation of the verse again. When I was born from the abdominal lotus flower of the Lord, Mahavishnu, the great person, I had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So today we discuss second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Purusha Sukta confirmed. And here in this particular verse, Lord Brahma, who was born from the lotus flower, which grew from the navel of the Lord, he said that he had no ingredients for sacrificial performances except the bodily limbs of the great personality of Godhead. Yes. From this verse we can see that actually these different sacrificial performances should be done. The Lord explains in third chapter of Bhagavad-Gita, Yagyartat karmanon yatra lokoyan karma bandhana tadartamapi kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. That every work should be performed as a sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord. Yes. And if we perform like this, then we will be free. Otherwise, we'll be helplessly bound. Yes. Slaves of this material nature, as we are from time immemorial. So, one should understand, although everything that we can perceive and imagine and everything there is only particles of the Lord and nothing else. As Lord himself explains this, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante man buddha bhava samanvita. Here also Prabhupada states this verse from 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, how everything is emanating from the Lord, all spiritual and material worlds. And those who know this very perfectly, they engage full-heartedly in worship of the Lord with great love and affection. So this is the only solution actually to raise our consciousness beyond the material realm and beyond this illusion in which every living entity lives. Because we should know that this illusion is not possible to cross on our own strength. Yes, Krishna himself explains this in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Devi hiesha gunamayi mama maya duratya mam eva ye prapadanti maya metantarantite. This mama maya, my energy, my illusory energy, is duratya, extremely powerful, and it's not no one is able to cross over it on their own strength. Yes, because whatever instrument to cross over Maya we have is just from Maya itself. Our intelligence, our mind, our senses. Yes, everything is composed of Maya. And by water you cannot dry something. Yes, so by Maya we cannot remove Maya. Yes. If something is contaminated by wine, for example, this example is given in Shastra. If some vessel which is used for worship of the Lord is contaminated with wine, you cannot purify it with wine. So We cannot purify our existence with Maya. So, but we don't have any, we cannot approach the spiritual reality on our own because of these instruments of Maya that we have. So the only solution is to surrender to the Lord. Therefore, Lord comes again and again and again to teach us. Yes. Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sanstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna explains that he comes the age after age, yuga after yuga, to to paritranaya sadhanam, to help his devotees, and vinashaya cha dushkritam, to destroy the miscreants. And this, we should understand that all these descriptions are not applicable just on the outside world, but also to our inner self, actually. So, when Lord says paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya dushkritam, we should also allow the Lord to appear in our heart. Yes, not that he just appeared in some particular time in history of the world. Of course he appeared, but he appeared just to facilitate every living entity to invite the Lord also to appear in his heart. Yes, and this is the Krishna consciousness movement. Is meant for this awakening of consciousness to call the Lord, please appear also in my heart and destroy my internal enemies, my internal demons who prevent me to fully surrender to you, my Lord. Yes, and rescue this insignificant spark of devotion that I have in my heart. Give it protection and make it that it can ablaze for your pleasure. Yes, so we should understand the Lord's purpose. Lord is supremely merciful to his devotees. So our only purpose is to satisfy the Lord, But we cannot if we don't connect with him. It's not possible. As long as we don't connect with him, we have this separate identity from the Lord. It's called pritak bhava. Pritak means separate, and bhava means existence. Or bhava means also our nature, our emotion, even. So, as long as we retain this pritak bhava, this separate identity from the Lord, it's not possible to connect on the level of love with the Lord. Then, as long as we have this pritak bhava, if we have any relationship with the Lord, we try to exploit the Lord, because pritak bhava means I have separate identity from the Lord, and therefore whatever I perceive is potentially my enemy. You understand? Because I want to, if I see myself as different from the Lord, I want to create the world around myself that is my realm, meant for my enjoyment. And if someone else wants to enjoy this my realm, it's my enemy. Yes. I want to fight for my space. Yes. To have a place to enjoy. You understand? Yes. So this is the principle. So we should pray to the Lord, not for material things, because many most of people who turn to the Lord, they turn to the Lord to get something from the Lord. Yes, but this is again Pritak Bhava. I have my separate identity from you, my Lord, but because you are powerful, I try to exploit you to receive what I think it's needed for my pleasure. Yes, either a good wife or good husband or good children or good job, something that is beneficial for my enjoyment is in this world. Yes, but devotee doesn't pray for any material boon. He prays only for service. This is the only thing devotee is hankering for. Please give me service, but not just service. Only mentality, also a mentality to be a servant of the servant. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapiladeva explains to his mother Devahuti how anyone who doesn't respect all other living entities and see the Lord himself in every living entity is actually like the person who performs a sacrifice and puts ghee instead of in a fire in ashes. So, in other words, his worship of the Lord is useless. Yes, it's useless. So we shouldn't keep this separate identity in the heart. And whenever we notice that it's present, because we are conditioned from time immemorial, and it's very difficult for a conditioned soul to completely change its perception of the world just abruptly, just like this. So therefore, this path of devotional service is a path of gradual purification of our consciousness. So, if one is sincere in this spiritual pursuit, one should be alert to his feelings, to his consciousness, to his mind. And when we turn to the Lord, be always on guard that we don't try to exploit the Lord with our bhakti. Yes, because if we try to exploit the Lord with our devotional service to get something in return, then we can never develop prema bhakti. And prema bhakti is prayojana, is ultimate goal. It's just prema, unconditional, uninterrupted love for the Lord. Yes, but as long as we have any separate desire from the Lord, this is not possible. Yes, therefore we should know what is pure devotional service. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadinavritam anukulena krishna anushlanam bhaktir uttama. Yes, pure devotional service is anya bilashita shunyam. Anya means other, and abhilasha means desire, and shunya means zero. So there shouldn't be any other desire than service to the Lord. But of course we can say that we are full of different material desires. How it's possible to get rid of these material desires? We are not perfect yet. And it's true. We are sadhakas, that means those who perform sadhana to achieve sadhya. Sadhana means the path, means the process to achieve your goal. And sadhya means perfection. So sadhaka means the one who practices to achieve perfection. That means, by definition, sadhaka is not perfect yet. But how can we perform pure devotional service then? Yes, it is explained that this should be our disposition. We shouldn't harbor any other desires in our heart. But although our heart may be full of different material desires, we should pray to the Lord, I don't want these desires. Please help me to overcome these separate desires from you. Because if I don't have such an attitude, definitely I would like to exploit the Lord and beg the Lord to fulfill these material desires. And of course, if I beg the Lord for fulfillment of material desires, the Lord may fulfill them, but what's the purpose? We don't achieve what our soul is craving for from time immemorial. And this is only pure love and nothing else. Yes. So, because of our ignorance and engrossment in material energy, we may think this particular material thing will make me happy. But it's just illusion. No material thing can make you happy. No good job, no good car, no good phone can make you happy. You may utilize these things for service of the Lord. We should, actually, not just we may, but we should. But immediately when we think that this particular thing can make me happy, we are in great illusion and just about to experience great suffering. Yes. Because any kind of material enjoyment brings material suffering. Because this is the world of duality. And more we enjoy something, more we suffer when we lose it. And we definitely lose it. Yes. We cannot keep even our own body. What to speak of other things. Yes. So we'll definitely lose. And more we derive enjoyment from certain things, more we become attached to it, isn't it? Yes. And then more we are attached to something, more we suffer when we lose it. Yes. Therefore, yehi sansparshasha bhoga dukkha yona eviti adyantavantah konta nateshu ramati Buddha. Those who are Buddha, who are awake, who have deep intelligence, they don't try to enjoy material things because they are dukkha yonaya. They give birth to misery. They give birth to misery. Yes. So only foolish people try to enjoy this material world. Yes. And derive some satisfaction from it. So the message of this verse is to use ingredients which are the Lord Himself, actually, for the Lord's service. Yes. And Prabhupada gives different examples how this is the universal principle. We also worship Mother Ganges with Ganges water itself. And Mother Ganges is extremely satisfied with such worship. So the Lord, although we offer Him things that are Himself only, yes, still the Lord is supremely satisfied if we do it with devotion. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upakhritam ashrami prayatatmana. Lord Himself explains in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita that He gladly accepts such an offering if it is offered and brought with love for Him. He says in this word ashnami. Ashnami actually means I eat. So by His great love for His devotee, He is so bewildered that He eats also things that are not edible, actually, like a flower or something. Yes, but he says, I'm eating it with great satisfaction. And he confirmed this statement when he came to the house of Vidura. Yes. um, because he was on the peace mission at Duryodhana's palace. Vidura didn't expect the Lord to come to his place. But the Lord didn't want to stay with Duryodhana because Duryodhana was not a devotee. Duryodhana had this pritak bhava. Duryodhana wanted to exploit the Lord for his own purpose. And he tried to exploit the Lord very skillfully, actually, with great intelligence, one may say. But the Lord cannot be cheated. Duryodhana accepted the Lord with kirtan because he knew that Lord loves kirtan. So he engaged the best musicians, best kirtan performers for the Lord's pleasure. And then he set the Lord on the golden altar, golden throne, which was new, just for Krishna, made exclusively for Krishna. And he made a wonderful feast. He engaged the best cooks possible to prepare most marvelous feast for the Lord. But Lord rejected everything. He didn't want to take anything from Duryodhana. Yes, not even because of social custom or social etiquette to accept the offering. No, Lord is not obliged to accept anything from anyone. And then he didn't want to stay with Duryodhana because Duryodhana acted as his enemy, because he acted as enemy of his devotees. Yes, and then he went to Vidura's place, and the wife of Vidura was so surprised by the Lord's visit and that she was completely perplexed, and she didn't know what she's doing, and she was peeling the bananas and throwing bananas away and give the Lord banana peels, and Lord just rejected the most wonderful feast, but gladly accepted the banana peels and ate them with great satisfaction and bliss. Can you imagine? You reject the most wonderful feast and then you eat banana peels instead? Yes, the Lord is not attached to the thing that is offered, but He is attached to the love by which the thing is offered. Yes. So, love is the most important ingredient of our offering. And this applies not just for offering food, but offering our life also, and our japa, for example. Also, if we chant our rounds of japa just to finish our rounds, or even if we don't ask the Lord for material things by our chanting, still, if it is not offered with love for the Lord's satisfaction, the Lord will not accept it. Yes. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahartam ashnami prayatatmana. Yes. I accept only offering which is offered with love. Of course, in the next verse he says, Yat karoshi yat ashnasi yat juhoshi tadasyam yat tapasisi kantaya tat kurushma madarpanam. That whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you give away or offer, do it as an offering to me. But he doesn't say that I accept. So yes, we should, in the beginning, as long as we don't have any trace of bhakti, we should understand that this is for my benefit, that I offer everything for the Lord's pleasure. And therefore, I should offer whatever I do. So even if I do some things that are not pleasing to the Lord, that should still be offered. If I do something sinful, still it should be offered. Of course, the Lord doesn't say that I will accept such an offering, but just this mentality to offering the Lord something has great purifying effect on us. Yes, and gradually will be purified if we offer to the Lord, even without pure consciousness, without pure motive. So offer everything to the Lord. But if you want to achieve what you are really looking for from time immemorial, do it with love. And with love means what? Actually, with love means to understand the desire of the beloved, isn't it? If I offer something with selfish motive, I'll have benefit from my offering. Then, first of all, this is not love. But when we try to offer something with love, we should know what is pleasing for the object of my love and what is not. Yes. Once there was a person who tried really hard to meet a Queen of England. I don't know if you have heard this story before. And somehow or other, he was able to climb over these walls of Buckingham Palace, or where the Queen was living. And he climbed through a window, and really, he met the Queen. And he was so perplexed when he met her that he offered her a cigarette. And she said, I don't smoke. So yes, so we should know what are the desires of my object of my love. Yeah. And we can know this from hearing Shastra, regularly hearing Shastra. Yes. Hearing and reading, both is needed. Both is needed. And to try to associate with those who have deep spiritual understandings, deep spiritual connection with the Lord. Because with such a connection, naturally we'll imbibe some of this spirit also ourselves. Because Prabhupada was once asked by a person how to become sincere. And he said, how can you become a drunkard? If you want to become a drunkard, just associate with drunkards. And I guarantee you'll become a drunkard. So if you want to develop pure love for Krishna, associate with those who have pure love of Krishna, who are connected with the Lord, who are at least striving in this direction extremely seriously, with pure heart, and in great longing to develop such a relationship. Yes. Therefore, this is very important to understand that our life should be meant only for the Lord's pleasure and nothing else whatsoever. Yes. Because immediately, when our life is not dedicated to Lord in this complete dedication, the suffering overcomes our existence. Yes, knowingly or unknowingly. Every living entity in this world is just suffering every day. Yes. We are, and the sad thing is that we are so accustomed to this suffering that we don't even notice it many times. Just the fact that we have to go to the toilet is suffering, isn't it? Who wants to go somewhere in not so pleasant place just to enjoy, or what? No. It's because if we don't respond very quickly to the call of nature, the suffering will grow. Yes. And we'll suffer more. Yes. So we suffer every day. Only if we connect with the Lord, then even sufferings becomes the source of pleasure. It is said by Bhakti-yoga Thakur that these different sufferings that I undergo in pure my devotional service to the Lord is the source of ultimate pleasure, because I know it's Lord who treats me in this way. And it is explained that even if we receive some pain from the beloved, it's the source of pleasure. Yes. For the example that acharyas give is, there are different examples. One is like a burden. There are two kinds of burdens: burden of the beast and burden of the lover. And burden of the beast is, of course, when a ferocious beast attacks you and knocks you on the ground and try to devour you. This extremely painful burden and fearsome burden. Yes, a tiger attacks you, for example. But the burden of a lover is most pleasing, actually. In most intimate relationship with your beloved, such a burden is most pleasing. Yes, brings great satisfaction. And if tiger bites you, it causes great pain and suffering. But if your lover bites you, may be a little painful, but it's cause of great pleasure. Yes. So devotee takes these sufferings, so-called sufferings, these different challenges that he faces as Lord's loving treatment to him. So we should take all reversals in our life that will definitely come as long as we have material body. There will come different difficulties and even painful situations or embarrassing situations. Take them as Lord's special mercy. And if you take them like this, then they will affect of special mercy. If we take these different reversals in our life as curses, then they will have effect of a curse. So we have a power to turn curses into to benedictions. Yes. And we have also a power to turn benedictions into curses. Yes. So we should properly engage our power of consciousness in our benefit. Yes. It's strange, isn't it, that people are many times dissatisfied, because only by satisfaction can one be happy. But they are deliberately dissatisfied, and therefore they disable themselves to be happy, actually. Yes. So Prabhupada, although he perfectly knew that this life is full of different kinds of misery. He said, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. This is, of course, we have heard this so much that we don't think it deeply about this, but this is extremely deep instruction, actually. This is instruction, this is not just saying. This is instruction. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy. By being happy, we offer our service to Prabhupada and to Krishna. So be happy in every situation and worship the Lord with all his ingredients. And the most important ingredient is our mind to be offered to the Lord. Our mind and our heart. Yes. So offer everything to the Lord, but foremost your mind. Yes. And therefore this movement is called Krishna consciousness movement. It's about our consciousness. It's about what we think of, in what way we think of. Yes. It's about our emotion, our bhava. Yes. So our bhava shouldn't be pritak bhava, or separate identity from the Lord, but it should be prema bhava, mahabhava. Yes. Great love for the Lord. As exemplified by Srimati Radharani, who is mahabhava personified. Yes, and tomorrow it will be appearance day of Srimati Radharani, and so I invite you with all my heart to come here tomorrow. And also today will be a kirtan afternoon, and kirtan is always glorifying Radha and Krishna together. And tomorrow, on the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, Krishna is most pleased if we glorify Srimati Radharani together. And this is actually for his satisfaction, because Radharani is most pleased when we glorify Krishna. So then we should also glorify Krishna on Radharani's birthday, because this is most pleasing for her. If we glorify her, she's not very much pleased. She hardly waits us to glorify Krishna. Yes. She wants to hear Lord Krishna's glorification. Yes. So we should worship Krishna every day. And not just every day, but all the time. Yes. And we can, whatever we do, we should meditate that this is just a service for Krishna. And in this way we will please Srimati Radharani the most. Yes. And then, if we please Srimati Radharani, our life is perfect. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comment or doubt or whatever you would like to add? Yes.
Would it be possible, could you mention this more when Krishna came to Vidura and got the banana peels? The wife of Vidura gave this to him, and did Vidura notice this and did they apologize, or what happened there? Is there more information about this leader?
Actually, I don't know. Janitai Prabhu, do you know any details of this story? No, I don't know. But the basic teaching of this Leela is that Krishna is not satisfied with something external. It's about our heart offering. So our external offering to Krishna will not please Krishna, will not give him satisfaction. So if we chant our rounds absent-mindedly, without this desire to please Krishna, Krishna is not obliged to accept such rounds, or such offerings, or such arati, or such anything. Yes. So people of this world are very much accustomed to do things externally only. Yes. Because by externally passing exams, I'll be given the certificate. Yes. Although, if the next moment I forget everything, doesn't matter, just to get the certificate. um, or if I do such and such a thing, I expect such and such result. So on the external level, I do everything required, but my heart is somewhere else, my consciousness is somewhere else. I think of other things. And we bring this type of attitude also in spiritual life. And we think, if I'll chant my rounds, if I'm serious, at least 16 rounds. But if I don't have this service attitude by chanting, and this surrender attitude to Krishna, and I just want to finish, to complete my part of the deal, if you understand, then Krishna is not obliged to accept such a deal. Yes, because such a deal is offensive. Yes, and he doesn't accept offensive things. Yes, it is explained that by if we offend Krishna, we can be freed from offense by chanting the holy names. But if you offend the holy name itself, it's no way possible to be free from to get free from offense. By which process? Yes. So we should know what are the offenses against the holy name, and trying to cheat Krishna definitely is an offense. Or to have material desires, even though we have heard about this so many times, it's an offense to the holy name. Yes. And in such a way we cannot achieve any goal that we desire. So the story, this moral of this story is to go deep in our spiritual practice. That whatever we do it with the intention of pleasing the Lord, for His satisfaction, and not expect anything from the Lord. Yes, because immediately when we expect anything from our service, then this is a business deal. It's not act of love. Yes. Hare Krishna. You wanted to ask something?
No, I just wanted to add to the story maybe.
Oh yes. Do you have some details of the story?
Yes, I have some because I have been watching the Mahabharata part for quite a
Uh
while
huh.
now. So
Yes. Please share.
when Krishna visited the place of Vidura, so when his wife was offering him the meal, so she was in so much devotion towards Krishna to see the love of Krishna that Krishna is visiting her place instead of feasting with Duryodhana and everyone. And that moment was very tense because he had come as a messenger of peace from the part of Pandavas. So she was very mesmerized that he has come to her place to eat. So she was peeling the bananas, and instead of giving the banana to the Krishna, she gave the peel. So Vidur was sitting beside Krishna only. So he saw that, but Krishna stopped Vidur. Okay, let it be. She is giving it with a lot of love to me, so I'll accept it. So Vidur tried to stop or interrupt them that this is the peel, not the banana. But the Krishna was also very pleased with all the love and devotion he was receiving from her, that he accepted the peel with very much devotion, and he accepted that.
Yes.
He ate it. So yes, Vidur tried to stop him, but Krishna was so much pleased that he ate the peel.
Yes. So thank you very much for sharing these details. Yes. So the moral of the story remains the same. Yes. Intact. Anything else? Yes.
If I would like to offer my heart, my mind towards Krishna, for example, right now, and later onwards, I'm going to enjoy. Does this also destroy what I have done before, or because there are different periods or situations during the day even, and sometimes if I do my puja, I have more heart for it, and sometimes less. And I would like my question is, if this is changing, and before it was good and later it's bad, is more this good counting, or does this bad
Yes.
nullify everything?
As long as we are not purified yet, these oscillations will come in our life. It's compared to heating butter to get ghee. Have you done? Did you heat butter to get ghee?
So, yes.
So you can notice that at one point the ghee looks to be clear, but if you boil it further, then these impurities come again out of ghee. Have you noticed this? Or you didn't boiled enough?
I'm not even 100% sure if I've done it, but I can imagine.
Oh yes. So at the beginning many of impurities come out of butter, but then it clarifies and looks it's done. But if you boil it further, these impurities will come again out of butter. So it's the same in our spiritual life. Maybe at one moment looks everything clear and we feel more devotion to the Lord, and the next moment these impurities come again on the surface. They're always there, but we don't perceive them all the time. Yes, and they're not apparent on the surface. So they come to the surface occasionally. Yes. And so it is Krishna's mercy to show us these impurities, that we can become aware of them and pray to the Lord, please help me overcome this. For example, Narottam Das Thakur in Prema Bhakti Chandrika, he prays like this: although I may be an offender, my Lord, you are my only shelter. Still, you are my only shelter. And I'm afraid, he says, I'm afraid that I will not be able to overcome obstacles on the path to achieve love of you, my Lord. Therefore, I pray constantly. Such a personality as Narottam Das Thakur, who was endowed with love of Lord Chaitanya, that means by love of Srimati Radharani herself, because Lord Chaitanya has love and bhav of Srimati Radharani. And he stored his love for Narottam Das Thakur exclusively. And if he himself is saying that his afraid that he will not be able to overcome obstacles in devotional service, and therefore he prays constantly. How much more we should be aware that we should pray constantly. And also Lord Jesus said, you should pray constantly and never get you should never get tired of it. Yes. So we should always be connected with the Lord. And when we notice these different impurities in the heart, we should pray, please help me remove this. And these impurities are unlimited, actually. So it's impossible for us to purify them. It's completely impossible. Therefore, we should take shelter of Krishna. We quoted this verse from 7th chapter. Devi Kesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. Yes, my Maya is Duratyaya. You are not able to cross over it on your own. You have to take shelter of Krishna. Mam Eva. Certainly. Eva means certainly. To me, Mam Eva. Ye Prapadanti. Those certainly who surrender to me can cross over it. Otherwise, it's not possible. So we should constantly take shelter of Krishna. And when we notice these impurities, these impure motives, we should beg Krishna to purify them. Therefore, we should hear constantly, because otherwise, if we don't hear and read constantly, we'll not be able to recognize these impurities in our heart. Yes. For example, I'm completely convinced that these prayers of devotees in other religious paths, like Christians, many times they pray for peace in this world. But this is material prayer. Yes. They want to enjoy peace. Maybe it's a prayer in the mode of goodness, but still it's material prayer. It's pritak bhava. But they don't recognize this as an impurity because they haven't heard about this extensively from Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita and from our acharyas. But for example, some saints can understand this also in Christian religion. For example, Saint Francis of Assisi, when he prayed this Lord's Prayer, please, O Lord, give me daily bread, this Lord's prayer. Lord, hallowed be thy name, and praying for daily bread is most famous Christian prayer. He prayed, give me your daily bread in the form of your instructions, in the form of your word. Yes, that I can follow it properly. But others, they don't understand like this, because they're not taught to understand in this way. So we should therefore regularly hear and read Shastra to properly understand what is our Sambandha Jnana, who are we, who is the Lord, what is our relationship with the Lord. And our relationship is of service only, and not expecting anything from the Lord, not even peace in this world. But we are just servants, and we pray to the Lord to love Him, and to serve Him with pure, unalloyed, uninterrupted love. Yes, this should be our only prayer. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes, please.
I want to ask, Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for your lecture. I want to ask a fundamental question about karma. like why some things happened in life, like why about behavior of people, or like why I am like this, or about if somebody can filter their karma out of the past life, then they know like why this thing happened. And about sometime people meet some astrologer and they do some prediction.
Yes. What is the question?
How to know your karma?
How to know your karma? We should know the principles of karma. And these are very difficult to understand by this is the statement of Lord Krishna himself in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Karmano hyapi bodhavyam cha vikarmana, akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gati. It's very difficult to understand what is karma, what is akarma, and what is vikarma. But you have to properly understand this, because in one verse before, Lord Krishna said that one should understand the principles of karma, and by understanding this, one can be freed from all misery. So, karma, in the usual sense of the word that we usually use it, means the law of action and reaction. So, whatever we have done in the past is returning to us now. And this is also the law of physics. Yes. Every action is responded by the equal opposite reaction. Yes. So this is also the law of karma. It's the same, actually, completely the same definition. And it doesn't work only on the gross level, but also on the subtle level. And every religious path, actually, every spiritual path knows this law. Also Jesus said, whatever you sow, that shall you reap. Yes, this is the law of karma. So we can understand our karma from our current position. So I was born in certain family. I was endowed with certain intelligence. I was given certain wealth. I was put in certain tribulations in my life. It's all because of my karma. So we can understand our karma from our current position. But devotees don't bother about karma too much. We should, when we embark spiritual path, then and devote ourselves to Lord's service, then everything, we turn our karma. Actually, we burn up our karma. Then there is no karma anymore. Only Krishna's mercy remains. But this will happen imperceptibly. You should understand this. No one can perceive this, not even yourself. But if you surrender to the Lord, your karma turns to Lord's mercy. And then whatever is happening to you, it's happening just by Lord's mercy only. And this mercy is leading you to complete surrender to Him. Karma doesn't have this power to lead you towards the Lord. But Lord's mercy has this power. So, therefore, we should accept whatever is happening to me, if I'm a devotee, it's just Lord's mercy. Tattenu kampam susamichkaramano bunjane vatma kritam vipakam hritvapo vurbirva dandanam asti jivito mukti padei sadarbhak. It is explained in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord's devotees accept these different tribulations and sufferings in life as Lord's great mercy, and they glorify the Lord and they thank the Lord from the core of their heart, and glorify the Lord from in their mind, with their words, and with their body. And only such personalities are actually eligible to become liberated. And true liberation, actually, it is explained, is love of the Lord. This is only true liberation, is prema, is love. There is no other liberation. So yes, you can understand what is your karma from your current position, but you should take to this mystical process of turning karma into mercy. Yes, but externally it will seem the same. Actually, it will look the same. This is because it is explained by our acharyas. This is because the Lord in such a way protects the most confidential path of bhakti. Because bhakti is extremely confidential, and therefore if such boons would be visible and perceptible, cheaters will take to the path of bhakti to achieve their desired results. And if cheaters would take to the path of bhakti, the pure path would be lost. So therefore it is reserved, this pure path of bhakti is reserved only for those who really want to develop love for the Lord. Yes. Otherwise it's closed. It's not open. Yes, it's confidential. Although it's open secret, we can say. We speak publicly about it. But those with impure hearts or who don't strive to purification will not be able to perceive. Yes, for them it will be closed, remain closed. So, therefore, please understand that if I'm surrendered to the Lord, everything will be Lord's mercy, even though it may seem just ordinary suffering due to my karma. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes, please.
Thank you for the lecture. So, you mean to say, like, when you take the birth, it depends on the past life karma.
Yes.
You take the birth, maybe finances or everything, you take karma. But when you start doing bhakti in this human life,
Yes.
you mean to say when you are asking to surrender to God, so the karma will completely change, you are saying, or the karma which you take will not give you the pain when you are in bhakti?
Devotee perceives that this pain that I received is due to my karma, but by Lord's mercy it is reduced. We perceive it like this. But actually, this is because of our love for the Lord. But actually, the Lord may completely take away certain karma, so-called karma, or give you something that you don't deserve by karma. You wouldn't get by karma. Because when the Lord takes over, Lord doesn't take over just like this. He says in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita Samoham sarvabhuteshu na medveshosi na prega. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mahiteshu chapyaham. That I'm equal to everyone. I'm not in favor of anyone. I'm not especially inclined to any living entity. And I don't hate anyone. But those who worship me, they're in my heart. They're my friends, and I'm their friend. So the Lord treats his especially his devotees. So when you surrender to the Lord, something may seem to be your karma, but it's actually the Lord's mercy. So by karmic reaction, you would get something to a certain degree. But Lord can change this according to his estimation that this is good for your surrender. And you can receive reduced suffering or increased suffering. Who knows? Maybe by karma you would get something, but you don't get it. Because Lord considered that it's useless for you to increase your affection for him. And sometimes you wouldn't get anything by your karma, but you get by Lord's consideration that it's good for you. Yes.
So you mean to say, like, you will get by Lord's grace even it is not written in your destiny.
Yes. Yes. Therefore, these astrologers, if they're really good, if they know that you are a devotee, they say to you that this cannot be ultimately predicted because it's in the Lord's hands. Yes.
Planets are under the Lord.
Yes.
Planets which they see, basically they predict on the basis of some planets or something like
Yes.
that. But they are under the...
Yes, they're under the Lord's power also. Therefore, Prabhupada says that if you clap when you sing for Krishna, your lines in your hands are changing. Your destiny is changed, actually, completely. Yes. Hare Krishna.
And one small
Yeah.
question, like, in a single, one statement, if you can say, surrendering is something like you don't have any expectations or zero expectations is called surrendering.
Yes, there are 6 types of surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishati vishwaso goptratve vranam tatha atmanikshepa karpani shatvida sharanagati. Sharanagati means surrender. Anukulyasya sankalpaha means to accept whatever is favorable for the service of the Lord. This is first sign of surrender. To know that favorable for the service of the Lord is to chant the holy name, is to hear from Shastra, from devotees only, to offer the Lord food and other things, to meditate upon the Lord, to sing His glories, and so on. This anukulyasya sankalpaha. Pratikulyasya varjanam, to reject everything that is not favorable to the service of the Lord. So I don't live sinful life. This is not favorable. Yes. I'm not selfish. I reject gambling, illicit sex, such things, and drinking of alcohol or coffee.
Whichever is not accepted by the Lord.
Yes, or going to the cinema, for example. Other such things that are not favorable for devotional service. I reject this. Yes. Pratikulyasya varjanam. Rakshishati vishvaso. We have great faith, vishwas, that Lord will protect me. Yes. But this doesn't mean just that protection of the body, because ultimately our body will die. But protect me. Me, I am the soul, yes. He'll protect me, not to fall under the clutches of illusion. Goptratve vranam tatha, and he will always what's the word? Support me, sustain me. I have great faith that he's my only sustainer. Yes. Therefore, I will not try to seek some benefit from others, only from the Lord. Yes. Yes. So I'm not my own sustainer, but only Lord sustains me. Or not others. What to speak of others? Only Lord is my sustainer. And this is the central point of surrender. Yes. To understand that only Lord will sustain me, that I don't depend on anyone else. Yes, just the Lord. Guptrate varnam tata. Atma nikshepa karpani. Atma nikshepa means, Atma means self. And nikshepa means to offer the Lord our complete self, our heart basically. To give our Lord our own selves completely. And karpani, to be very much humble. To be extremely humble. This is the sign of surrender. And Lord Chaitanya explained what humble means. Trinada pisanichana taroriva sahishnana amanina manadina kirtanya sada hari. To be more humble than a blade of grass. Trinada pisanichana. Yes, and people ask, how can I be more humble than a blade of grass? But blade of grass struggles for survival in this world, with and is in a struggle with another blades of grass. But devotee doesn't struggle for survival. He completely depends on the Lord's mercy. Yes, and he doesn't protest. Yes, Tarori Vasakishna. He is as tolerant as a tree, which doesn't protest if someone comes to cut it down. And even standing in the scorching heat, he doesn't ask for water. Yes. So it is explained that our attitude should be like this. But at the same time, we should offer. We shouldn't expect any respect for ourselves, and offer all respects to others. Yes. This is true humility, karpanye, and it's a sign of surrender to the Lord. And we perceive as everything as Lord's mercy again. Understand? Yes. These are 6 items of surrender. Hare Krishna. Okay. You had a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because before you were explaining about this, that we in the material world we tend to do things automatically, or without getting deep. So sometimes there's people who have this idea, okay, then it's better to chant less but more attentive. But on the other hand, we have this instruction to chant 16 rounds.
Minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
So, can you say something about that?
Yes, this is another trick of Maya, of illusion. Because if you want to be good at something, it shouldn't be done only with good quality, but also with great amount. If you want to be a good runner, for example, it's not enough that your training is high quality training, but you have also trained a lot. And then you can be better runner. It's in the same with any activity. If you want to be proficient musician, you have to have a quality practice, but you have to also to practice a lot. Otherwise, you will not be a very good musician. And it's the same in chanting. We should have quality chanting, but we should also chant a lot to really be able to connect deeply with the Lord. Yes. Lord Chaitanya said, it is explained that at certain point what was the expression? That he would take prasad only in the house of Lakeshwar or something like this. Yes, Lakpati. Lakpati, not Lakeshwar, but Lakpati. It's the same practically meaning, but other word. Lakpati. Lak means 100,000. Only, but usually it means extremely wealthy person. It's Lakpati. But he said, and then all these brahmanas became despondent. How can we then offer anything to the Lord, because we are poor brahmanas? We don't have even 100. What to speak of lakh? And then Lord explains that this Lakpati means one who chants 100,000 names of the Lord. And 100,000 names of the Lord is usually explained as chanting 64 rounds. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who comments on this in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he's very strong how everyone should chant at least 64 rounds. But Prabhupada, in his consideration of disqualification of his disciples and Western people in general, he reduced this to 16 rounds minimum, without offense. So then we should know that if we want at all to please the Lord, we should follow the instruction of his confidential servant, as Srila Prabhupada. So you should strive for extremely quality rounds, but also at least 16 without offense. And then you can proceed, and then you can hope that your offerings will be accepted by the Lord, by Prabhupada's mercy. Yes. Otherwise you should strive and chant more, not less, but more. Yeah. This answers your question. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Add-on question, small question, Prabhu. So when you said like chant more, you mean to say you don't know what is the right procedure basically. If the devotee doesn't know what is the right procedure, but you still continue chanting more, so that will make you in a right path? Or
Yes.
you should know everything and then you should start?
No. You should start immediately. Because Krishna is also Chaitya Guru. Chaitya Guru means the Guru in your heart. And if you surrender to the Lord's holy name, the Lord will guide you to also properly understand Him, to also properly surrender to your Guru, to also properly follow the path of pure devotional service. Yes. But if you think that I'll just chant the holy name and I don't have to follow anything else, this is an offense. Guru Ravagya. Against the offense against the holy name. Yes, and then nothing can rectify it.
Should be able to accept the changes that are.
Yes, we should, when we know something is proper to surrender to Krishna, we should take it seriously. Hare Krishna. You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that, and sometimes actually a devotee friend of mine, he's now becoming very much into like this, like a spiritual guide, like outside of the bhakti tradition, who's like, and he says like he's getting like, since he's following him, like he's feeling so much liberated, basically, like no more, he's not worried anymore about money and existential needs, basically. And I was, and he's very much convinced, so so what is, can you give me some advice, like what I should, how I should deal with him, or like
So, he was a devotee before, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think he thinks he's still a devotee. He doesn't neglect the bhakti path, he's actually thinking like, this is actually helping me in my bhakti, because it's like, But on the other hand, like...
And this is a path of jnana, or what he's following?
It's just a modern, like one of these coaches, and as far as, I didn't really study what but he doesn't refer to any shastra or something. He's just like, some ideas, like he has some ideas, like I don't know exactly what his ideas are, but
Yes.
I think it's sometimes, there's other, from India there's other like personalities who are considered gurus, like there's one who's embracing people and then they feel liberated, and others giving darshan and then they feel something very special.
Yes. So what you can do? This is your question.
What should be my
attitude? Yes. Definitely, to everyone we should show our love. But if he in any way disturbs your faith, or if you notice that he's maybe offensive towards some devotees, then it's more proper to avoid such a situation.
Maybe I can add, like, actually, I don't have much close contact at the moment with him. We used to be on traveling Sankirtan together, and that's I consider him a good friend, but maybe, like sometimes you have friends, but you don't really have much exchange, so I don't really have much exchange with him. But the problem I see is like he's trying to get others also. And that's basically my main thing, like.
This is try to canvas others, and convert them. Yes, you can just ask him to find their audience somewhere else. Yes. We should know that by proper following of this path, we should all be free from these material anxieties. So if someone is full of these material anxieties, means that he doesn't take proper shelter of Krishna. Yes. This is the sign. If we are full of material anxieties and fears, we are not taking proper shelter. But one can also fool himself, and for a certain period of time of his fooling himself. One may think that I'm not afraid, that everything is perfect. But then the tests will come, of course, in life. And then very quickly everything can collapse. And I have seen many such cases that where devotees convinced, now I have found true path, and which is of course outside of path given by Prabhupada. And they were quite enthusiastic at the beginning, but after some time they fall down really bad. Yes, some taken to these hard drugs and to other things also, and really to immoral life and different such things. So yes, one should be extremely careful not to be offensive towards anyone, because usually the offenses are driving us away from proper path to embrace something else. Usually this is the consequence of some offense. And be very humble and pray to the Lord to help us overcome these different difficulties, as we gave example of Narottam Das Thakur. So this should be also our attitude, to pray constantly to the Lord to overcome different obstacles. But to prevent, actually to protect others who are innocent people from such cheaters, who cheat themselves and who try then to cheat also others. We should ask such people not to come to devotee association. Yes. Because it is explained, Shrutri Smriti Purana Deepan Charatra Vidimbina Aikantike Harer Bhaktir Utpatayeva Kalpate. Even if such people think that I'm an exclusive devotee, if he doesn't follow the instruction of Shruti and Smriti, of Shastra, and Shastra means that tells you that you should follow your Guru's instruction. And if they don't follow, and they think that they are pure devotees of the Lord, this is Utpatayeva Kalpate. They are just disturbance and nothing else. Yes, this is the verdict of Shastra. So we should take verdict of Shastra seriously and prevent such people to disturb faith of others, because faith is something that is extremely difficult to gain, because it's completely beyond this world, and it's very easy to destroy. It's compared to a tree, and a tree needs 100 years to grow, and then some trees grow even more, longer period to be fully grown, but it takes seconds to cut it down. Yes. So similar with faith, takes very long time to grow, to be very strong, but takes seconds to cut it down. So we should prevent such people to come to devotee association who just disturb the mind of others. And this will be our service to them also. Yes. Hare Krishna.
And one problem is, of course, nowadays you have social media.
Yes. We cannot influence this. We can just tell people that if you want any good to yourself, just get out of this social media completely. These Facebooks, Instagrams, TikToks, they're just meant for disturbing our mind away from Krishna. Yes, all of them. They will not give us any good. Of course, there are some saints that can be followed on these platforms, but if we are sincere, there are so many distractions that it's practically impossible to get distracted, even if we are focused on just on these saints. Yes. So, if you want any good to yourself, completely back off. Yes, reject all this social media completely. Yes, and then your mind will not be disturbed. Yes.
I want to add to this story. Yesterday I went to some other spiritual event from Swaminarayan. So there they shared that one guru asked all the elders, like people who are not students but who are doing jobs, to stop watching sports. So then he asked why. He said, one guy here, he has an addiction. Like if today is a test match and on day 1 Sachin is on 99, so whole night he will not sleep properly and think if Sachin will make 100 tomorrow or not. So then he said everybody stop watching sports, especially elders who are having a job. So then he said who will follow these instructions, so most of the elders they raise hands. And there was one young career graduate. So the Guruji is just looking at him and he did emotion like, what are you going to do? So he said, I will not follow because I am not elder. So he raised his eyes. What you are going to do? He said, I will not follow. Then he understood. He asked him third time, he understood, I have to follow. He said, everybody will follow now. So then he stops watching sports, no social media. He is now the highest paid lawyer in Canada. So like what you said about how to catch the right train, the party train or the right path.
Yes. We should know what is beneficial for devotional service and what is not. I said before that this is the question of surrender. To accept what is beneficial and to reject whatever is obstacle to our devotional service. Yes, and this prajalpa, which is going on social media, that means gossip, just gossip, is detrimental for our spiritual path. So it's wise to give it up completely, and then you can be peaceful. Then you can be peaceful. Yes, but our peace shouldn't be for our own good feeling, but to serve the Lord exclusively. This should be our goal.
And the reason I mentioned the social media was because even if he doesn't come to the devotee,
Yes, I understood.
On the devotees. So does it mean we shouldn't bother about that, or?
You shouldn't bother, because opposite effect you'll produce. If you try to fight them there, you give them strength. You should ignore them completely. Yes. Yes. Because then they get importance. If you react in any way, it means I'm important. I'm worthy of reaction. Yes. So they should be completely ignored, as they don't exist. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your attention. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Pramanande, Hare Hare Krishna.